Hello my friends, and greetings from Jadida in Morocco again. And this will be another update video before I get back to properly editing all the proper travel videos to continue our journey. And namely, this update will be about one specific thing which some of you have suggested me again and again. I was dismissing all the time that idea, but then it suddenly dawned to me that it actually might be something which might work for us quite well. Time will tell, and your feedback will tell me even more, but I have a suspicion that it might be something very good. And I'm talking about Patreon. There are some things sometimes which I would like to share with you, but those things are kind of a little bit too much to share with the general public in YouTube, open for everybody. And also, sometimes when I'm editing my longer videos, they are so long, I still see that they're worth making because they give you more that immersion feeling that you might be like getting in my shoes and properly experience that journey with me. So I want to make these long videos, but I realize that many of you don't have time for long videos, so I also try to make some shorter excerpts with the most interesting moments. But technically how it happens is that I make that long video first, and then I figure out which should be the short excerpt pieces which should be made into separate videos, and I upload the long one, but I don't release it yet, otherwise I will bore you with making excerpts about what you saw already. And then I put all the excerpts, and when I'm done with that, only then I release the long one. But I was thinking also, why shouldn't it be possible that I could give the long video already to my patrons in the Patreon page immediately as soon as it's ready, without waiting, and only when everything is done with the smaller excerpts, then it goes to YouTube. So I have these two ideas in my mind at the moment. One is to share with some things sooner, to release them sooner than for everybody else because of these excerpts. And the second, probably most important, is to share with a bit more personal things which I wouldn't dare to share on YouTube. Although even on YouTube I do call you friends and I make these videos for you friends. But still, I think it might be beneficial that we might have some kind of a filter of Patreon, in this case, which might give us some environment where I could show a bit more with you. And yes, I know this filter is very symbolic filter only, because you can choose yourselves how big or small you want your subscription to be to my Patreon channel. And you can put something laughably small and still be my patron. And that way it kind of defeats the purpose. But I still think that it is kind of a filter already, which would filter out people who wouldn't be so supportively minded towards what I'm doing. And therefore it would be already enough for me to be able to share more with you in Patreon. So, if you are interested, I can invite you now, today, the 1st of February 2023, I can invite you to join my Patreon page. If you go to my YouTube channel About page, and if you find it easier, you can also just put in your web browser www.artis.guru, and it will automatically lead you to that about page of my YouTube channel. And you scroll down right under the description, you will see 2 links. The first of them will say become my patron, and if you click on it, you'll be directed to my Patreon page. And there, if you don't have a Patreon account already, don't worry, you can just log in with Google account or whatever else you have there, you will see, or you can register, sign up. But basically the idea is that you can become my patron by signing up for a monthly subscription, and you yourself can choose what will that subscription be, how big or small it will be. As far as I understand, there is literally no limits, so whatever you will put, it will be your monthly subscription fee. And once a month, at the beginning when you subscribe, and then on the same date of every month later on, it will automatically be paid from whatever you choose, or it's a bank card or a PayPal or whatever, and it will go into my Patreon account, which will be paid out to me once a month. So that's as far as I understand how it works, and I hope that it might be something really useful and beneficial for all of us. So I invite you, if you are interested in hearing something a bit more from me, and if you would feel happy to support me, in that case, and only in that case, come, welcome. Join my Patreon page, become my patrons, my dear friends. We will see how it will work, but I have a slight suspicion that it might work actually very well for us, I can imagine. For you, it will be a simple and organized way how you could support me if you want. And on my side, it will be a possibility to share with a bit more things than I could share on YouTube. And already I just shooted the first introduction video for the Patreon, and I hear already people will probably ask me, why do you show your face on Patreon but you don't show your face on YouTube? I have heard from some of you guys already that question, why don't you show your face on your videos? Is that an answer? So my friends, the idea about my face is quite simple actually, nothing too big in there. It's not that I have to hide it for whatever reason, it's just that I like to be a usual, typical, normal person instead of being some celebrity who is recognized on the street. You know, I have noticed that many people, probably even most people, think about being famous as something very good and pleasant and desirable. And probably if you think like that, you might be surprised that I'm trying to avoid it. But and also, yeah, I can imagine somebody is laughing already, like, what are you talking about? Your channel has, what, 1,500 subscribers only. It's nothing serious. You will not become celebrity with that channel, that's for sure. Let's try to understand what's what. I'll try to explain you, my friends. One thing about being famous or recognized on the street, I have had some period in my life about 10 years ago when I kind of was in those shoes. I couldn't say I was crazily famous, but I was quite often stopped on the streets by people who knew me, who recognized me, but whom I didn't know. And I have had, like, I don't know if it's a measure or not, but there was one moment when even on YouTube search, if you put my first name in the search suggestions, it showed my second name, my surname, on the second position, just after the defense minister Artis Pabriks of Latvia at that time. So I don't know if we can measure from that anything or not, but it kind of was that situation. Then people were kind of recognizing me in Latvian speaking world. And after I have been away from Latvian speaking world and living and traveling in this world, I have quite enjoyed that freedom and simplicity of life which you get when you are not recognized on streets. It's quite pleasant. I don't have to think like a public figure anymore. I don't have to consider all kinds of consequences, what my participation in something or non-participation in something might bring. I don't have to give any interviews to newspapers or TV or radio, which I was doing before. And I quite enjoy that life. It's so simple and so easy to be just one of these people around here. Well, the only thing which make me a bit different here is that I'm a foreigner. But other than that, it's a good freedom. I enjoy it. And also, I have heard from quite a few of you that I'm very similar, in your eyes at least, I don't know if it's true or not, that I'm very similar to Bald and Bankrupt. Even to the point that I'm also bald and I'm also bankrupt at the moment. But yeah, mostly you were saying about my attitude of travel, going to non-touristic places where nobody else goes, and contrarian thinking and different worldview and that kind of stuff. And then I was thinking at that moment, well, of course, my channel is nothing, it's small. But who can tell what will be the future of that channel? Like, even those channels who have now 3 million or 5 million subscribers, there was one time in history when these channels had 1,500 subscribers, what I have now. And who can tell if that will be the same story here or no. This is Marché Central, or I'm not sure how to pronounce the French properly, but Marché is market, central market. So we'll walk through that one as well. So yeah, who is to tell what will be the future? Maybe this channel will never get more than 1,500 subscribers. And then it will never become a problem that I will be stopped on the streets or closely investigated by certain countries' security forces, like Bald and Bankrupt happen to have, and had problems of filming his things because of that. So maybe it's a non-existent problem. But just in case, if this channel gets bigger one day, I will always have a possibility to one day show my face in it. But if I started to show it now, I will never have a possibility to get my face out of it. And at least at this stage in my life, I kind of feel happy about my privacy. I can show you my travels, I can share with the things I feel as valuable, shareable, worth sharing. I can let you to get in my shoes and go together with me, explore this beautiful world together with me, but still without being recognized on the streets and scrutinized by some agencies because I'm too recognizable or visible. We'll see, of course, but that's my general attitude. And if the question was why do I show my face in Patreon, because that will never be too big an audience, I guess. So no matter how many people recognize me on Patreon, if they see my face there and recognize me, I'm okay with that. It won't be so big numbers that it would get me disturbingly big recognizability on the streets. How do you say that? You get the idea. So that's my general attitude at this moment. And who knows, it might change later in life, maybe. But at this stage, this is what I feel the most comfortable with. And also, what is, I didn't mention it, but that's probably even more important consideration, is that I really enjoy watching such videos myself and making them to you when the videos are, instead of just showing myself, I can let you to experience the trip. I can let you to step in my shoes and to see, literally like you see now, what I see. This is the picture what I see when I walk on the streets of Jadida. And this is what I can show you. And whatever interesting happens along my way, I can show it to you with my eyes. I can let you to see pieces of this beautiful world with my eyes. So that's another very big reason why I enjoy filming like this. So friends, I hope this answers these questions. Other than that, what I can say, my dear friends, thank you again so much for all your support and your amazing attitude which you are demonstrating. This is just something unexplainable to me, like no words can say it. It's so big what I have received during these days from you, my friends. You are so amazing and I'm so grateful for having you. So thank you, my dear friends, for everything you have done, for all the help. And as before, I can say that my plans haven't changed. As soon as I get a little bit more free time, I will resume editing my older videos and we will continue our journey where we left it. In Egypt. The next proper travel video will be about one big celebration of one sheikh's birthday with all kinds of interesting and traditional things in Egypt, and we have a few other countries on our way which I also filmed but hadn't time to edit yet. We'll get to that, my friends, as well. Thank you for being here, and thank you for me being able to know you. And whoever wants to join and become my patron, you're more than welcome. Have a good day, my dear friends, and all the best in all your ways. All the best, my friends. If you'd like to hear more from me and support me in my ways, you're more than welcome to become my patron. Find the link to my Patreon page just under the description of my YouTube channel's About page. Thank you, my friend.